Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make bread at home. Now I've got a bread maker. I've had this thing for about 19 years. It's very old. I've replaced the bowl in it, the beater in it, and it's been brilliant. It's one of the cheapest ones on the market. I think I paid about £49 for it when I bought it. This is what I'm going to use and this is how I'm going to make it. This is my bread pan. I've taken it out of the machine. I would normally put it on the scales and weigh everything out in the order I'm putting it in. And with most bread machines, you put the water in first, so all liquids go in first. This is 300 ml of tepid water because yeast likes it to be, warm. If you can't put your hand in it, it's too hot. So it's just sort of body temperature. So pour that in. Move that out of the way. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil, and this just acts as a preservative. It sort of makes the bread last longer. So that's my liquids. The next is 30 grams of butter or margarine. Get all that off because it's been out for a while. It's softened. Put that over there. This is 25 grams of just plain granulated sugar. And this is 2 teaspoons of salt. You do need salt in bread. That's what gives it its flavour. If you don't put your salt in, bread tastes different. Right, now that's all that in. So now we go to the flour. Now in total for this you need 500 grams. In here I've got 430 grams of strong white bread flour, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top of my liquids. I make all sorts of stuff in this machine. I've made wraps, focaccia bread when we have soup, ciabatta bread, panettone, hot cross buns, Chelsea buns, fruit bread. No, we do love our bread in this household, and there's nothing better than fresh bread. This is 70 grams of wholemeal flour. You could use a granary flour, it's up to you, whatever you like. You could use 500 grams of totally white flour. I just add this because I like to add, well, I like to try and think it's healthy. If you make all wholemeal flour, then the bread is very heavy and it doesn't rise quite as much. And there's that in. And lastly, I'm putting 2 teaspoons of fast action yeast. And that's it for the mixture. I'm now going to put this in my bread machine. Now I don't cook my bread in my machine, I put it on the dough setting. The dough setting gives you the mix and the first prove, and then I take the bread out and I make it into bread rolls. If I cook the bread in the tin, which you can do if you want to, we eat the whole loaf in one day. So I make it into 8 bread rolls and then it lasts 2 days. So then I'm only making bread every other day. So that's why I do it. It's up to you how you do it. If you want to make a loaf, but I'm showing you how to make the bread rolls. So I'll go and put this in. On my bread maker, the dough setting is number 6. It does vary from one bread maker to another. My bread machine has just beeped. It's been in the dough setting now for an hour and a half. And it's come out and it's all puffed up. Normally when I put my bread on, I actually put it on and then I'll go off and do something like walk the dog or any jobs that need doing. So the hour goes really quickly. I now take this out of my tin. There we go. And this is the satisfying bit. There we go. I am just going to knead it. I'm going to use the palms of my hands to go in like this. And I keep doing this until it sort of goes smooth. You can feel when the bread has been kneaded enough. I've just stopped doing it because if I keep doing it while I'm on this work surface, all you'll hear is rattling. So I just keep going like this until it starts to feel, you can feel the outside, it sort of goes smooth. You can also take a bit off it and stretch it, and it should stretch thin so that you can just about see through it. There are various methods to tell whether your bread is ready or not. This is also really satisfying. If you feel grumpy or cheesed off with somebody, it's a good way of letting out all those feelings. And you always get really good bread afterwards. It's all fluffy and gorgeous. There, now that is done. It's sort of slightly smooth. Something lovely about yeast. Such a nice, you can feel it sort of living underneath your hands. All I'm going to do now is cut it in half, and then cut each half in half again until I have enough to make. And I do it by eye, and I need 8 bread rolls. You want to try and get them approximately the same size. I can never get all mine the same size. I always have one that's rather bigger than all the others. And all I do now is I just get the bread and I roll it round and I sort of turn it under as I'm doing it. And I keep going round and round, and it makes a lovely smooth ball there. And once I've got that, I just sort of flatten it a little bit. I just sort of turn it in my hand and flatten it. And there we have our first bread roll. And all I'm going to do is just press them with my fingertips, because I don't want big round balls of bread. I want them to be sort of like domed. I don't want balls. I'm just going to cover them with some flour. And this just keeps them soft. And the next thing to do is just put them in the oven. I put mine in the oven with the light on because the light seems to generate enough heat, and this will be their second proof. The second proof is about 45 minutes to an hour until they're doubled in size, and then they'll be ready to cook. Once the bread has finished its second proof and it has doubled in size, turn the oven on to 200 degrees and cook for 20 minutes. You might need to leave them in for a little bit longer if they're not brown enough. Once they're cooked, bring them out and leave them to cool on a wire rack, and then they'll be ready to eat. Well, there we have it, our lovely homemade bread rolls. I do hope you're going to give them a go. Our house smells absolutely wonderful at the moment. The whole house smells of fresh bread, and I don't think there is a better smell in the whole world as fresh bread. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification button, and I hope to see you all again next time. Thank you for watching. I can't do it now. You're grinning at me after having told me off. I've been told off. I need to shout more.
Too angry, too aggressive. Start again.